Pokémon is a hugely popular franchise, and although it stretches across multiple mediums, its core definitely resides in its video games. Most of them are extremely high quality, well-produced products. With some exceptions. Chief among these is Pokémon Gold and Silver, released from 1999 to 2001 across the world. Following up to Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow, the games were the second main titles to be released in the series. The game sold 23 million units, prompting an updated version with more features, Pokémon Crystal, to be released soon after. It even later spawned remakes on the DS in 2010, built with an entirely new engine, Pokémon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But what if I told you that there was an entirely different way to play these classic games, one that is hidden in the shadows for a very long time? Pokémon Vietnamese Crystal. See, this game is actually just a patch of the Japanese version of Pokémon Crystal. The game was not actually translated into Vietnamese at any point. The moniker simply arose from the patched version being distributed primarily in Vietnam. The game was just translated into straight-up English. Now, you're probably wondering, what makes this patch so notable? Japanese games get fan translations all the time. Why is this one any different? Well, I did say the game was translated into English. I didn't say it was translated well. You know, you just start up the game, watch the normal-looking intro, and change? Isn't that supposed to say options or something? Oh no, something is very wrong. I'm just going to change the text window to this one that looks like it's falling apart, because that's what it seems the game's translation is doing. Now we get to choose our gender. I'm going to go for the second option, because I kind of want to see what a girl looks like. I don't think I've seen one before. After choosing the time, which causes the text to overlap the text box, I then choose my name. For some reason, there's a second E and B in the bottom right of the screen, which just kind of calls out to me for some reason. So my character's name is now Eb. EB maybe?
Welcome to EB Games.
According to Professor Oak, Elf Monster, these Pokemon are called elves. I'm not entirely sure why, but I can say that when I enter the game world, I am sure I'm invested in the rivalry of Dr. Oijido and DJ Walnut. Can we just really consider here that this is an actual line in an actual translation, and somebody thought that this was okay? Because I'm finding it hard to believe. I head downstairs, which is easy enough because thankfully the only thing changed in this version was the text, and get the elf gear for my mom. Not Pokegear, elf gear. Just for fun, I allow my mom to explain how to use a telephone, which most people normally skip when they play actual Pokemon. But I'm glad I didn't, as I am now convinced that this woman is not my mother, but a religious official. Select the holy figure? What, are we in an age where you have to select your preferred deity in order to contact people using your mobile phone? Alright, well, anyway, I get sent off to get my first elf, as normal. I get to Professor Elm's lab, choose Cyndaquil, but decide not to nickname it because I'm pretty sure it'll have its own special name. And I was right. It's called Rydid. Rydid. That's not even an actual English word. How do you screw this up this bad? Sure, fine. I'll change Fired Elf into a big wind of fire. Okay, now I can go on to Route 29 after getting this potion, and does that say... Whatever, I can let it go. Let's just put the potion in the... I thought this game was rated E. E for everyone. These are not words for everyone. The translations only get worse from here. Yes, worse than words that are horribly inappropriate for this game's target demographic. The battle screen is almost indecipherable. If I hadn't played a Pokemon game before, I would have never found my way around. Every battle starts with you telling the opposing elf to go away. Whatever, let's just hit him with Prize and S-Pin. Actually, these are just names for Tackle and Leer, but how under any use of the English language do these names communicate what these attacks are. When you level up, it just gets worse. Attack and defense are still there, but special attack and special defense are replaced with morals and truth. Maybe the people who translated this had some sort of theme going on. Combine this with those holy figures from earlier. Are these the values of Arceus, the Pokemon god, over 5 years before he came to be? You know, that's some pretty good foreshadowing right there. After encountering this mess, I finally make it to Elf Grandfather, secure the egg, and leave. Professor Elm calls me, telling me it's too bad go back soon, which would seem to imply that he wants us to flee the town, the region, and possibly the entire game. However, thankfully, because I've already played the regular version of this game, I know he actually wants us to head back to his lab, so we can fight our rival on the way. We beat him and his Croc? You okay there, Croc? You're looking a little blue. I defeat him, go back to Elm's lab, and name my rival the only thing I can. The characters directly across from EB on this weird keyboard. Greater than ? Alright, now, I could keep going with this adventure, but really it would just be the same thing over and over. A critically acclaimed game with a terrible and kind of hilarious translation. But
it's time to stop!
Despite how much I would like to defeat all the leaders and their dialects. If anything, I can say this game has taught me one thing. Always contact your religious officials before using your cellular telephone.